Hello, my precious wandering souls. Welcome back to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Last episode we did the first half of the second trial, and it seems that the true crime scene was actually the parking lot, which leaves us in a very bad spot, because that only makes Lana look more and more suspicious. Also, now we know that the SL9 incident was also called the Joe Dark killings, which sent Emma into some sort of panicked reaction and she left. So there's something there. Also, I think we're about to cross-examine Officer Marshall. I was going to say Detective Marshall, but no, he's not a detective anymore. So let's see how this trial goes, I guess. Okay, so February 24, 12:14 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Emma didn't come back. Oh yeah, Emma ran away, and we have no idea where she is. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. You shouldn't be drinking in a courtroom. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly close intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know. You're a patrolman. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you'll hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind? I've never heard anyone describe that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English. Not cowboy speaking, this is a courtroom. Okay, day of the crime. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. That why? They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at the street-side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man. If you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I care for your bear, but you don't see me complaining. Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? The cameras and the fingerprint? No, the ID card reader, I guess? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. Okay, yeah. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those. Yes, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks on the entrance lockers? Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? Oh, right. I think Gumshoe said that not everyone knew about this. So it's possible that Marshall just doesn't know. He's not being very helpful. He's not that with machines or with following others. Everyone's got the weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. Okay, I think I know where I should press. So, I think here. Because we know, or we have some proof, I just need to find it. I think it's this one. So if you were at a street side saloon, why are your fingerprints here? Well, your white fingerprints, I think. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this. After all, you were in the security room at the time of the crime. And yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or, to be exact, a handprint. Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crate. I pay my respects, that is, make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints will be in there. The exact day of the murder? In the exact crime scene? I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. That too. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene? The blood was wiped away. However, a luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall? It seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall? About the blood-stained fingerprints. I guess we get another testimony. Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints. Found at the scene of the crime. Blood-stained fingerprints, okay. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the blood-stained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See? I had nothing to do with it. The witness's explanation appears valid, although there's room for doubt. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. This guy's hiding something. I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it. Okay. I guess I'll just press. Okay, why is that? That's because you... How did you put it? Pay your respects once a month? Yeah, that's right. That, and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine. What? What do you mean? I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now, though, it's a heap of broken dreams. I see. It'll be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently, his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it. Okay. Found a bloody handprint on Marshall's own locker. The print had been wiped. It was taken on the fingerprint being related. Okay. How do you know that? Yeah, exactly. How do you know he was wearing gloves? I might be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports. There was a bloodstain at the scene, thought to be left by the murderer. That's right. It was found on Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint. Oh yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer, wearing gloves, happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint. That's the only logical conclusion. What are the odds, though? Are you starting to get the picture, partner? The picture? This trail of blood in the desert is just food for the bastards. There's only one reality, and that's this. The security tape. So long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully when you're going with this cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall. But it wasn't me in that video, right, partner? That sounds so suspicious, dude. What do you mean by that? You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner? I mean, he got us there. If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Blind spots? Places you can't see. Exactly. The camera's panning back and forth, the floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape. Which is what I think happened with the fake Bruce Goodman. The fake Bruce Goodman somehow knew the blind spots on the cameras and just avoided being seen out, like when he left. We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so now. Show evidence. Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall. Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake. Now then, let's have another look at the video. Show us this incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer Jake Marshall. I'm going to fast forward because I think... There's nothing there, so if I fast forward a bit more... Nothing there. He attacks him. Going. This wasn't there before. I think it's this. Bringing our attention back to the security camera. It's a mistake I'm afraid you should not forget, Officer Marshall. The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less? Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... that's 8. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. That locker with the white cloth sticking out. That was the witnesses, I believe. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. Hurry up. If we go back. It's not there. Oh, the white cloth, it's gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. Order! Order! It would seem that they... Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was opened? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened a locker and stuck it in. That's not possible. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. It's not possible. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? You can't open someone else's locker unless you have the fingerprints. Oh god, hold on. It's raining. I gotta stop the recording just in case. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. God, that was one intense rain. The lights went out and luckily I managed to save the recording before it went like really bad. So oh yeah, this guy is kinda dumb. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? This guy isn't just plain dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah? I call you bluff. You say I opened that locker. Now prove it. I guess I just show him this. Only the assigned detectives please can unlock it, so fingerprint sensor? We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this, and he also mentioned that not everyone knows about the fingerprinting. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? I only got one word for you, partner. No! Order! 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 Witness, explain yourself. If this is a joke, it's the worst I ever heard. I assure you, this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Probably looking for something about SL9, right? It might be something like that. Ole, please answer the question. What is he now, a bullfighter? That's alright, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure the rest out from here. We can? Have a look at these floor plans. There is no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet, Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then where was the witness? It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. That's right, the only possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? Here, I think.
Take that!
Oh, for a moment I thought that I messed up. Officer Marshall was standing right here. There? But that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Correct, unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you, dressed up as Detective Goodman.
Objection!
But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd known for sure.
Objection!
May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir. Yes, and how did Detective Goodman respond? He suddenly pulled a knife on me. Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had this ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. Uh-huh. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, I get it. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? You've got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's raining really hard. Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it. You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim. Do we? Oh, I'm kinda scared that the video will explode or something with the rain. I can't say I particularly care for your operative disposition. I can't say I care for your beer, but you don't see me complaining. You guys already said that, okay. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim? Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the dessert hit. Dessert hit. This can't be happening. No. Okay. How do we prove it? It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? What now? It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. What? I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you're run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The basics? For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Think outside the box. Phoenix, try thinking outside the box. Uh-huh. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later as it had been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. Oh. According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. He took things from Goodman's locker and put them in his own locker, I guess. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Oh, okay, it's probably the jacket, right? Or the coat, like. Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. I think it's the jacket. I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot. Very well, let's take yet another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker up to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness had to open this locker. Can I make this faster? Okay, there's the jacket. There's Mickey's. Wait. Go back. Go back. I don't know if I can, like, point it out here, but look at this. Maybe it's this. For some reason, you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman and enter the evidence room, though I don't know to what end. I don't know to what end. Yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Mickens barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Mickens panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat? You couldn't just walk out like that. So you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, partner. So you admit it? Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now will we? Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it. Alright. It seems the time has come. Okay, Marshall's confession. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I saw the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Mickens. I knocked him out and managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. Which only makes Lana look more guilty. So, the supposed victim was really you. But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Mickens managed to cut his own hand. But from just his hand, like that huge amount of blood came out of his hand? My guess is he's the donor. He does way too much blood for such a small donation. Yeah, exactly what I say. Ah, okay. I guess I just press everything. I had to do it a day, couldn't just stand by it. Hold it? When you say it, you mean... Do you even have to ask, partner? The SL9 incident. 2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transfer that day. Not if I have anything to do with it. That incident's not over. But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only that case's detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time. No matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. Because someone related to you was part of the case? But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. No, but according to this, the head investigator was Goodman and Marshall was involved, so I guess that's what he means. Why does he care so much about it? Because there's someone with the last name Marshall as well in those files, which I assume is, I don't know, his brother or something. That day was my last chance. That's why I stole the detective's ID. Hold it. Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transfer on, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera. On the detective's ID card? ID card? I saw that the morning of the incident. So that's why Goodman started filling out that lost item report. I turned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall. So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself. But he couldn't because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. But there's just one Goodman, okay, we know it's Marshall using his ID, so how? I wasn't expecting Officer Mickens. Hold it? You pulled a knife off Officer Mickens and tried to drive him off? Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come during that short time. Officer Mickens certainly is a one-in-a-million type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID. I'll have to think a little more about his race this year. Oh no! Not him too! When did Edgeworth get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way. With me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one. I don't know what to say. So you knock Officer Mickens out and... I managed to escape. I knew which areas... Hold it?
Hold it!
So you did your research beforehand. Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference though. The security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left. However, you bloated your coat in your struggle with Officer Mickens. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jeep would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Officer Mickens doing during that time? What else? He was sleeping like a baby. So what you're saying is, on that day, there wasn't any murder in the evidence room. Hold it?
Hold it!
But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place. What are you, blind? The victim shown on the tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So, you stole the evidence from the locker. Actually, no, I didn't. Eh? Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. Huh. What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor. Detective Woodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID? Injuring a police officer? This is no small offense. Oh, sad music. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one's mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. I can't just forget the SL9 incident. You know why? Should I just press? Or should I present this from the get-go? I'll try.
Objection!
Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man? Neil Marshall. Yeah, I'm sure you've heard that name. The name. 2 years ago. He received the same lousy prosecutor award you got. What? A prosecutor? He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors award. Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right, he was killed. And the case fell into your hands. But what's his relation to you? Judge, come on. He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gann, the then deputy chief of police. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least, according to the public records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. And that's it? That's your reason for your insane actions? There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime. That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. But then what happened at the underground parking lot? Because that only leaves that at the only possible crime scene, and it makes Lana look even more guilty now. The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department. Chance? It's got to be more than just that. So, if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one. Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye.
Objection!
But wait! A verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial.
Objection!
Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today. But there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. It seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner. All of the mysteries at the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Skye. And the testimony of one Miss Angel Starr is completely incontestable. If you have a response, make it a single word or less. Objection, I guess? Ah! I rest my case. God damn it, Edgeworth! It seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt. Wait, no! Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time. Disproving the alleged murder at the police department. There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera tape really was fake. But I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty. No then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant. Object, dude! Hold it. Who was it? Oh, Emma! Your Honor, wait! Emma! The defense has an objection, a scientific objection. Right? What do you mean, right? Mr. Wright, Are you this girl's guardian? Not officially, but I can adopt her. Your Honor, in a sense, please, Your Honor, all I'm asking is for a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please. I don't want to leave any loose ends. Ah, you're such a softie. You want a minute? I'll give you 3. Wow. Well, that was not very Edgeworth-like. I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident refers to the Joe Dark killings? Now that she mentions it. The names of both Sky Sisters were in that file. But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing. The other handprint. You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Scrumptious' locker? But no fingerprints were found on it, right? No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So, I ran over there and looked at it again. Oh, you didn't just run away to hide. Oh. See? Emma is a great girl. So did you find something? No. Oh. Huh? Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. Is that all? Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student. And I'm just an attorney. But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can find something wrong with them... Please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you. Me? Oh boy. Okay, uh-oh. Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain? It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, the handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this? Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can be of more use. But still, if you can find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be... Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. Yes, Your Honor. If ever I have needed to concentrate, it's now. Wait! Oh my god, wait. Can I look at the video? Okay. The blue badger is like covering that thing, so maybe okay. What could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing? I object, there's no problem. I object!
Objection!
This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. The only thing that seems clear is your grasping, Mr. Wright. You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing. Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there? Yes, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. Let us pray the defense and simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright. With all this evidence here, there's got to be something I can use. The question is, which item can prove something is missing with the floor plans? I guess I just present the blue badger?
Take that!
What about that piece of plywood? The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force. Defender of truth, guardian of proof. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here. So watch what happens when they put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Uh-huh. Well, what? Oh. That's right. So long as the Blue Badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this point on the locker. What? Okay, I think I got something. So that means... just exactly what does that mean? It means it can be done. What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker. Don't look at me. I didn't put it there. Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically. Emma, on that afternoon, Officer Mickens was the one who brought the Blue Badger to the evidence room, right? Oh, maybe I should present the ID card record, right? After he put it down, it should be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker. So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in. Just one moment, I will not allow so far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom. It might sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice. But how? One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Mickens cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time. Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered.
Objection!
That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim.
Objection!
The murder portrayed in the videotape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker.
Objection!
So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred. When did the first incident occur? To summarize, the defense claims that prior to Officer Mickens being caught by the Egg Marshal, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room. That's right, the blood mark on the locker proves this. Very well, then tell us, when did this first incident occur? As Miss Edgeworth said, proof must be presented. Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that can show that. Now then, will the defense please present its evidence? What shows when the first crime took place? I guess I show the ID record? Could be the one with 77777. Maybe. I guess it's this one? Okay, yeah. If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. And in order to do so, an ID card would have been required. An ID card? Oh! The ID card record! Officer Mickens brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at... let's see here... 4:50 p.m. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 p.m. Oh! Oh! Miss Miles Edgeworth, just what have you done? I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy. Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. Nope, I ain't getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the luminal test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Mickens and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. I will have just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room. Yeah, that was what I was thinking. Let's look at the chart again. There's only one other car number remaining. Those bunch of sevens. Talk about a lucky number. But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Woodman have entered the evidence room? Since there's no record of his car being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 777... I don't know how many sevens are there. Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 7777777. That's 1 7 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least, at present. What? Explain yourself, son. The ID number 77777 belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. But the only person we know with that rank is Gant. Someone who is a so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity.
Objection!
But that's ridiculous. Just how? I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There is one situation in which we can be granted such authority. If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted. An official charge? You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates. I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask a question. Yes? No, not you. To her. The defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. Lana?
Objection!
Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number. And it's not the seventh thing. Don't blame me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident. Do you still know an incident? Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence? Oh? Oh? Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor? I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time, occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did. Did you use fake evidence? Lana! I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law. Defendant, just what are you saying? I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did? Chief Prosecutor, you didn't... I don't have to, Officer Marshall. Why won't you answer him? Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. Oh God. So you actually used fake evidence? We did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana! Even if it involved forging evidence. Oh crap. See? That's what I'm talking about. No! No! Order! 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 Lana's remark as such a stir. The chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day. Wow. Oh my God. But Edgeworth's not going to get any like backlash for it. No. Who am I kidding? Of course he's going to get punishment for that. Oh no. Okay, but to be fair, that wasn't his fault. I believe in him. No, I'm not simping. I believe in him. I'm channeling my inner Phoenix right here, and I believe in Edgeworth. Man, well, that was a turn of events. So I think I'll end the video here. Thank you for watching. If you did, if you like it, sorry, my head is, my mind is racing. I hope you liked it. If you did, maybe consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.